Hey guys, Rachel Kresge here. Getting on here to do another fun tutorial for Younique's products. And yeah, I'm snacking on fruit snacks right now because I had to get my son a pack to get him to sit in front of the TV long enough for me to do this. So it looked good. I wanted one. Alright, so what we're gonna do today. Addiction Shadow Palettes. Are these awesome, beautiful things right here. This is Addiction Shadow Palette 1. This is 5. I have 2 somewhere. Can't find it. So today I'm going to do it on 1 because I actually just got this. I didn't have one before, but I'm really excited about it because there's a lot of beautiful neutral tones in it. A few shimmers, but also a good amount of matte too. So Addiction Shadow Palette. So you're like, okay, it's shadow, whoop-de-doo, right? So it's more than shadow. And I'll show you exactly what I do with it. So you see right now what I already have on my face. I have our primer on my face. I have a little bit of the BB Flawless underneath my eyes. Some problem spots I had, and then I went over the whole thing with our loose powder foundation because I like a nice matte finish. I even went over my eyes with it, so when I took my brush I just kind of closed my eye and went over my eye. Then I also have our eyeliner in Perfect on my waterline, on the top and bottom of my waterline. You can see some tips and tricks on how to do that in a previous tutorial, in another tutorial. So that's where I'm at right now. So my next step would be to do my brows and to do my shadow. And that's my next step for me anyway. So I'm going to just dive right into it. So I have 4 different brushes here. I don't honestly use all of them, but I'll let you know what they are anyway. So we got our liner shader brush, which is, this is by far my favorite brush of all time. Just because I love the liner end, and then the shader brush is not too big where I don't have any issues blending anything. I love this one. We have our deluxe brush, which is also great. The best use for this one really is Diesel. No, don't chew on that. Dog, not the kid. So when you're blending the top through here, have a nice wide brush. Diesel! No! Come here. This lug head right here likes to chew on everything. Everything. All the time. Yes. Okay. So that's our deluxe brush. And then we have another dual brush. I love this one too. The angled shadow and sponge brush. So the shadow brush, you can see, obviously pretty self-explanatory. It's angled. And then you have the sponge end to it. And then this is our crease brush, which if you want to apply your shadow a little extra dark in your crease, then this is perfect for that. I'm not going to do that today, but I have. So those are the 4 brushes. Today I'm only going to really use the one liner shader brush because I like to kind of break it down to get the most out of each product and each thing as you can, right? So double-ended, this is a favorite, this is a go-to. And then if you had an Addiction Shadow palette like this one, especially number 1, with the colors that it has, this is what I'm going to do with it. And this is how far I'm going to go with my look with it. So like I said, have everything else done. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this one here, which they call Forthright. It's a matte, like dark brown, and I'm going to go into it with my liner end of my liner shader brush. And you can see I'm like patting. You really don't need much. And these Addiction Shadow palettes go a long way because you see how deep this is. I guess in reference, something to reference it with. I don't know, my face. So how deep this is how deep the shadow goes in here. I have a palette that I got, I think it was 2, that I got when they first came out, and I'm still using it. Like, I still have not come to the bottom of any of it. So they last you a long time. So I'm going to take the liner end with that dark brown, and I'm actually going to go into my brows right here. Try to make them a little more cleaned up. Because, let's face it, I need to go get them waxed. We can all see that. I think I put a little bit too much on because it's going on a little heavy. I don't typically put it on that heavy. So yeah, mom life, don't have the chance to get them waxed very often. So that first part looks a little dark. So what I'm going to do is go in with our, what do they call it? Lash Comb Brow Brush. One of these dealies. And just kind of like brush it out just a touch. So it's not so like bam. But makes it cleaned up. Right? Because really in the end that's all we want to look. It's just cleaned up. Because I'm not the one to be like totally bam with anything. Alright, so I'm just going to do the one side. I'm going to do the one side with the look so you can kind of see like a before and after. That, and it won't waste your time and make this video crazy long. So there's what I did with shadow for my brows. Now I'm going to go in with Elated, which is this light color here. It's almost like a skin tone color, maybe a little bit lighter. And it is another matte color. And I'm going to go in with the shader side. And right up to my brow. Just to kind of highlight that a little. And I use my finger to kind of like steady my hand a little. So I'm going to take that right in there and come right down with it. Just to highlight it a bit. Now I'm going to go in with, what do I feel like? This one here is called Brassy. And it's like this light brass color. Slightly shimmery. So I'm going in with this. Watch. Literally, I'm patting. Okay. It's a new palette, so I'm going to swipe just a touch. And that's all I'm doing, because this stuff is highly pigmented. So I'm going to go on the inside here, I think. Because I like kind of making the inside of my eye sparkle a little bit. I'm going to go like that. And I love having the palettes because it's like, oh, I feel like doing this today. Just do it. Just go in and do it. It's all good. And then next I'm going to go in with, this is last one back here. It's called Zealous. And it's like a slight shimmer. Very slight. Maybe like a medium brown. So what I'm going to do, this is the one that's going to kind of come into my crease and I'm going to kind of smoke it out a little bit. So what I do, what you're going to want to do is go like this with your brush, and that's the line that you're going to want to take. So what you do is you literally line it up with your nose and out to the point of your eyebrow. Okay? And so that's the line that they say to do. When I was in cosmetology school, that was the line. So your brow is supposed to end where if you start it, it goes across the top of your lip. There's this invisible line, right? Goes across the top of your lip, touches your nose, touches the corner of your eye, and then that's where the brow is supposed to end. I learned that when I was doing aesthetics for waxing for brows. So that's where that's supposed to end. And then this line here is where you're gonna want if you do a cat eye, if you want to do that, that is kind of the angle that you want it to take. That's the natural angle that'll look good for your face. Also, that's where you're going to kind of want that little triangle to start to happen if you're going to kind of do a smoky eye. So what I'm going to do, because I kind of know where it is by now, is kind of go right in here. And this would be like the point of that triangle that I pointed out. So we go here, and I kind of dab it, so it tells me where it is, right? Pick up a little bit more, and then I'm just going to swipe it right across in my crease. Okay? Then I take it and I come right down to the corner of my eye with it. Now you can either do this with the shader end, or you can pick up a little bit with your liner end, if you want it to be a little sharper, which is what I'm going to do, right like that, just to kind of close it in. Now that line isn't necessarily going to stay there just like that, okay? So now we're going to take, I'm going to brush that out. I got a paper towel here I'm wiping this out on. I literally just lay it and then I just go like this. Okay, so now I'm going to take this other one that's called Swanky. It's a little bit darker than Brassy was. I'm going to take a little bit of that and I'm going to put that right in the middle of my lid. So we got, what colors do we have here? We've got Brassy on the inside. We've got the Zealous for this top darker section, and we have the Swanky in the middle. All from Addiction Shadow Palette number 1. Plus, for our brow, we have Forthright. So, oh, and Elated, because I put the Elated up here to highlight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. I've used 5 out of the 7 colors for, you know, one look. And you can mix it up and do it however you want it. It doesn't have to be any particular way. And that's what I love about the palettes and not just getting a single color, because you can do whatever. So now what I did is I just picked up a little more of the Zealous, a little bit of the dark one, and now I'm just going to start blending it down. You're going to almost take like a windshield wiper motion like this, and you're going to blend it right down through that middle color, pulling in a little bit of that lighter color. Okay? Alright, so there's the lid. Now what I'm going to do to kind of smudge this, because I don't like it that sharp, personally. You can do it however you want. I wipe off my brush, and I literally just kind of tap all the way around this edge, so that that takes that sharpness out of it. It's still very distinct because we use the liner brush, but it's not so sharp. Do you know what I mean? And then through the top, we're going to again do that windshield wiper motion and go up and blend it slightly up into that highlight color we had on our brow bone. Okay? So that is my eye. I actually think I want to do a little bit more Zealous. Just a touch. And see, it's not an exact thing. Like, people stress it, like, oh my god, am I doing this right? Da, da, da. If you know, did you take art class? Did you take art class? Then you can figure this out, because it's basic shading and highlighting. That's what doing makeup is. That's really all it is. It's pretty basic. And shapes. Geometric shapes. So what is considered the perfect face shape is oval. So what everybody is aiming for is oval. So if you have a square face, you have a round face, everybody's aiming for oval. So when you're contouring, when you do any like darker stuff like around the edges or anything like that, you're basically shading to create the optical illusion of oval. That's what everybody's trying to do. Fruit snack break. Okay, so there's the eye. And then of course, I'm going to finish that off with our 3D Fiber Lash Mascara. I won't get too into this because you can also find a tutorial on the exact application for this in another one of my YouTube videos. These are pretty good freaking fruit snacks. I'm just saying. No wonder he likes to eat them. And they're like organic and stuff too. Just saying. Okay, so you see I got a little bit of the transplanting gel there. No stressing, no worrying. And again, I went over that in the tutorial for this also. So really, the number of products that I used for this look were very few. I used primer. I used a foundation. I used Addiction Shadow Palette 1. I used a brush, eyeliner, and mascara. That was really it. So a lot of that, hi baby, a lot of that, on life. Ah, don't please. Don't please. Do I need to brag you with my fruit snacks? Oh. Mom life! A lot of those products have multi-purpose. And don't make fun of my mascara face. You know we all have the mascara face. You know we all do it. I don't like this one. I'm going to pinch that one off. There we go. Okay. I'm going to get the rest of that gel that I left on my lid. I know, I got really quiet. Sorry. Alright, so really the products that I used for that were very minimal. And then I have one more thing that I'm going to do that I've never tried before, but I figure I'd give it a shot. Because I love having products that have multiple uses. I'm a big fan of that. Just because, for me, it's the sheer space in my bathroom. Pretty sure my husband would kill me if I took up any more of our sink. Okay, there's my mascara. So I got my half face going. So here's half. The other half. Alright, so one more thing I'm going to try that I've never tried before. I am going to actually take, I'm going to take our blusher. Do I want to use the blusher? No, I think I'm going to use our contouring brush. I thought I had it. Okay, so I'm going to use the Deluxe brush. And I'm going to use I think I'm going to use Brassy. That Brassy one.
Here's my potion.
Okay, please. A couple more minutes. So I'm going to use Brassy. And I'm actually going to try to contour with it. So I'm going to go just under my brow bone. See, I don't know if this is going to be dark enough to really contour though. Let's try Swanky. Swanky was a little bit darker. Okay, so there's that. Like I said, I've never tried this before. So I put in my line, the Deluxe brush line, and then I'm going to just kind of do one of these. Hey. Hey. That actually works really, really well. So there you go. Addiction Shadow Palette, #1 especially. Not only just for your eyeshadow. You can do light contouring with it. You can do your brows. You can do your shadow. Do it up. And then under your eyes, if you wanted to highlight it a little bit, there's the one that I didn't use. It's called Sincere. It's got a slight shimmer to it. Not right now, baby. Slight shimmer. And then you could just swipe under your eye just to lighten it, just a touch. Right? Probably can't see it very well right now, but because it's on camera. Or you could even highlight with it. Highlight like this. Hi, baby. Okay, so hold on, baby. 1 second. I know. Alright, so that's it. He's getting impatient. I'm going to go, and I'm just fiddling with stuff at this point. It got to be a really long video, and I really didn't want it to be. But there you go. Addiction Shadow Palette #1. Addiction Shadow Palettes are totally... what a stink face, are totally worth the money that you spend on them because you can get multiple uses out of it, and the dog's getting to me now too. Ah! Okay, I will talk to you guys later. Feel free to message me if you have any questions, comment, or visit my website, uniquenessrocks.com. Talk to you all soon. Bye. Mom life.
Bye.